When something comes up where a product or service is found to have something dangerous associated with it, sometimes the danger is real, but in many cases it's not. Yet fearmongers will incite people to boycott and stop supporting services and buying goods because of one action or another by the providers of said items. Even if it's not as dangerous as it is advertised, there will always be those who believe these are confounding conspiracies. Welcome to Confounding Conspiracies, an idea I had where I take a look at something where people begin to have doubts about things that, at the outset, may just be some little hysteria that would eventually turn into a movement to be shared across the nation and even the world. The real puzzler is that the belief these things are harmful aren't based on any kind of actual fact, just a thing that becomes, in the end, a confounding conspiracy. I hope these things bring the facts to light, so slip on your dark sunglasses, sit back, relax, and let's get started with the Hour Scare. Let's start off with the very first conspiracy I was made aware of, something that impacted Washington State a long time ago and made it into the national spotlight. So the first thing we need to see is what is the item that was the subject of the scare. If you wondered why it was that apples ever appeared so shiny a long time ago, is because an edible wax called alar was sprayed on them. The substance was thought to be harmless. The usage of alar had grown substantially up until someone released a report that showed alar was actually carcinogenic. Of course, as human nature has shown, people went nuts over learning they had been unknowingly and unwittingly consuming something that was, at the time and by the scaremongers, akin to breathing in asbestos. By that time, it had become a full-on panic. Apple growers had to rush to ensure that those who would avoid their produce for fear of this dangerous substance could be assured, and so apples grew less and less shiny over time as this substance, thought to be truly demonic at times, was no longer used. But here's the real question, the confounding part of it all. Yes, alar is a carcinogen, but the truth about the numbers shows something totally ignored by most people. In order to fully understand this, it needs to be shown how many things can be safe in moderation, but dangerous at too much. Such a thing as water. Now, this might not make any sense, but here's a fact. Our bodies are mostly water to begin with, and by the metabolic rate can be made to expel it as well as take more in. But it's also a fact that we can drown. What's more, if excess water is held inside for too long, it actually becomes toxic. Yet there's no outcry against this kind of thing because, by our nature, we can pretty much tell when we need to expel water by urination and also when we need to get more. This isn't a crazy coincidence, nor is it a conspiracy. It's simple biology. So is there any chance that alar can give someone cancer? Ready for something truly extreme? In order to reach the levels where the substance truly becomes carcinogenic, meaning given a chance to form cancer, it would take the equivalent of eating a crate of alar-covered apples a day for 40 years. Yet these kinds of numbers don't lie. But here's another interesting little fact. As human beings, we have a tendency to back away from meals of constantly the same thing over and over again. It's almost ridiculous about how this happens, this so-called diet fatigue. It comes in that if a person is given the same thing to eat for 15 days, they will gain an instant dislike of that food. So let's get the real percentage in here. 40 years is 14,600 days. That would mean that any person who is trying to get cancer from Alar would have to endure diet fatigue almost 1,000 times over. I'm not sure if this would mean anything, but frankly, by the third time, I'd be totally turned off against apples. Yet Alar is no longer available. The makers of it were put out of business because their product was labeled as a carcinogen. True, the actual numbers were well known and were broadcast far and wide, but didn't derail the conspiracy theory that the makers of Alar were in cahoots with some uber-organized mafia-style Gestapo or some mysterious realm as the Illuminati or such things. But it did happen. A relatively harmless addition to make a fruit shinier was stopped because too many people feared they might consume the right amount to make themselves sick, even though it was clearly ridiculous. So that's it. If you enjoyed this little video, I plan on putting up others that are probably a little more up to date. Give the video a like and a comment, as they really do help, and don't forget to subscribe to be kept up to date on Viewpoints and such. Of course, this series will probably be about once a month in the Viewpoints for now. And a new top 5 will come out every Wednesday or Thursday. Don't take anyone's word for it. When you hear of some frightening statistic, go in, find out, and learn why I would call it a confounding conspiracy. See y'all next time.